I hope the screen is visible to everyone. Okay. So in morning, we had discussed what are the tools and packages which is generally used to create an enterprise scale applications in React.js, right? So to provide a recap, I'll just explain once again very quickly. So for React routing, we generally use a React router or stack router that supports React DOM for the routing. Then for styling, using the CSS utility classes or that we use Tailwind CSS to animate anything around the application. In that case, we use Framer Motion. Then if you need a component library, then in that case you can use a set Shein, which is customizable. You can customize according to your own styles. And if you need something which is you don't want to customize anything and just want to use that, for that alternative is Material UI. Then if you need pre-built components for your landing pages or dashboard, then you can visit 21st.dev or React Bits, and there are several other websites you can check out. Then to be compliant with the analytics and user behavior tracking, you need to have a cookie consent form for your website. So either you can build your own for that and store all the timestamp with logs and whatever the cookies in permissions they have enabled. And if you don't want to handle by your own, there are several websites you can use for this. There is a pricing for that. Okay. Then for dashboard, when you're building a dashboard or some kind of tools, either landing page or dashboard. So if you need an authentication for your project and you don't want to build your own, in that case you can go with Clerk or Supabase or Firebase. I guess Clerk gives you 10,000 active users. Supabase give you also something around 10,000, and Firebase gives you 50,000 active users. Let me just check once. Okay, so they also give you Clerk also gives you 50,000 monthly active users, and Firebase also gives you 50,000 active users. Then, if you need to work with the database and you don't want to handle all those backend stuffs, in that case, you can use Firebase, Firestore, or Supabase or Neon. What happens? Firebase gives you the SDK for that, and if you are working with the Supabase or Neon, that's actually the Postgres database, but they give you data API layer like upon the Postgres database. So you can directly access the data, and you can also use RLS with the database, so that only the current user they have the data. In that case, they can use. Just a moment. Sorry, I had received one call. Okay. So for authentication, you can use either Clerk, Supabase, or Firebase. For database, when you don't want to handle all these backend things, in that case, you can work with Firebase, Firestore, Supabase, and Neon. But to make sure that the data doesn't get leaked because it's in direct API over the database, you need to be very careful writing the policy for that. So the active user shall get the data for that particular user only and shall not be able to access any other data. So you need to be very careful by writing the policy or the RLS rules. Okay. Then if you need the session replay or user tracking or error tracking, in that case, you can have the full story. You can integrate full story or post hog, and I guess there is Sentry. So there are several tools for that. But the best would be to use post hog because they have a very decent free tier pricing. For the others, that's very heavy pricing you have to go with. So Postdoc is really good with the pricing. Then if you need to track analytics and the page behavior, how user is clicking, where does he live, to track all those for the ad management and everything. In that case, you can integrate Google Analytics and Metapixel. So to use Google Analytics, please first of all use cookie for that, and then only track any user behavior. Therefore, the packages you need to install in the coding. So to manage the context in overall applications, you can prefer just and then to make an API calls with caching support and still time support. In that case, you can use the React query. Then to manage the forms, you can use 10 stack form. Then form validation, you can use Zord. For to have a video player or audio player, you can use either Vine.js or Bitstack. Then for table, you can use text table. Then to manage the state in the URL, you can use any kiosk library for long tables. If you have like thousand of rows, in that case, you can use text virtual to show only the those rows which is need to be displayed in the active screen. So for that, you use Tenstack Virtual. Then for advanced state management with Atomic or normally, you can either use Xstate or the Just End. Then if you need keyboard shortcuts for your application, then in that case, you can use CMDK library. If you need drag and drop to build like suppose a Kanban dashboard something, for that you can use DND kit. If you need sortable array or something sortable field, in that case also you can use DND kit. If you need to show toast notification like event has been created or you need to undo or that all things, you can use Sonar for that. You already have a support with the Satrian if you are preferring with that. So they have the toast with the Sonar support. Then for if you need to do JavaScript testing, for that either you can use Just or you can use Vtest. Then if you want to handle the dates, then in that case you can use either DateFNS or the Moment library. So for the payments, either if you want to go directly with the payment gateway, in that case you can visit like a Stripe, Razorpay, PayU, which is a payment gateway. And if you are using Clerk, they only support Stripe as an integration. If you are an individual and still want to receive payments, best would be to go with this merchant of record, that is Polar Express or Dodo Payments. They are the good in their field. Okay, so this is the recap, and mm, we'll be building a project to explore all of this, and we'll try to use one of that. So we had created a one of the we had set up basically, right? I guess if I'm correct, in today's session we had set up all those things. Content class. So we had this React Router app or Beat project. Okay, I guess yes, this is the one. Okay, so uh, no, this is the earlier one. I guess this is the one React router app. Ah, yes, this is the one which we had created, right? Just give me a moment. Let me log in into the platform once. Okay. I hope the screen is visible. So I had already set up a project earlier. So let me just show you that. So basically, this is how a landing page looks like. Okay, let me just open in the incognito mode. Okay, so this is how landing page looks like. This you have a hero section, then the um, like logo scrollable, then you have the features and all this. Then you have this cookie management. So you better store how the data should be handle all these accept and reject, or you can use any of the third party platforms to integrate with, right? Then you have these uh, all of these pages. You can use like toggle for the theme, like light theme and dark theme. Then this is the overview tab where you have a chart or something. Then you have this customer pages which uses 10 stack table basically. So you have this search, then you have all these filters with the status, right? Then you can reset everything. If you want to reset the filter, you can click on reset and it will reset. Then you have the column based filtering, right? Then you have this drop down if you want to delete any of those. Is the toast notification? You can create a customer if you are. Then if you want to use an DND kit, so this is the best example for that. So you can drag and drop, right? Everything you can drag and drop. So this is the example of DND kit. Then to play with stack player, then you can use like this, right? Have all those settings of for here like speed and audio volumes everything. You can also have a PIP mode here. Then you can also have the full screen mode. So you have all those options here with the width stack. Then this is the profile section with the tabs. This is the notifications like a checkbox, multi checkbox. Then again the toast notification for everything. So this is the one. Then this is the dev tools for the React query, right? So you have multiple fields here. What the data you have been receiving? If you want to invalidate, refresh. So you have all those things options here. So this is the demo what I had built. Now we'll be seeing some of the real examples to build with. Okay, so we had already set up the project. Let me just quit all those and So we'll create an application and try to set up all those things. So local host 517. So we had built up to this, like we had installed setcn, and we just created an kind of empty component, right? So now let first of all install the clerk. So we can simply install the clerk. So I guess I need to first sign up. So this has been added. Now let's see. It will create an application inside the clerk. Okay, so they have created the input local already by default. Okay, they are asking something. Agent, so I do not need this for now. Okay, let me just run this parallelly. Okay, so we have this env added. We have this routes added. Let me see. So we need to mention about the route, not about, but this is for the sign in. I need to import here. So now if I refresh, so you can see now the clerk login page is there. Same I need to add for the sign up page. And this sign up shall work. Great. So now sign up is in sign up page, and if for the sign in, it's the sign in page, right? So now it's working great. Then we have the home is the default index, right? Now let's create a dashboard page. For dashboard, we can create like this. Great. So we have this sign in and this sign up in our application. Then so clerk is that easy to work with. So now if you can see the users, if I just sign up here, okay, the local 513 and refresh with the sign in. and continue with Google. Now, if I refresh in the clerk, now you can see I have a user. So this is how sign up process get easy. Like within like 2 minutes, you are able to install the clerk and you're ready to go with the authentication, right? So now you can view this user. You can track their activity, their user ID, email, and their first name, last name, whatever the email address, what is the social accounts they've been logged in with, and if they have any password, you can set it from here as well. If you need any public metadata, you can provide all those here. So if you need anything else, you can have all those here. And then let me check with the env.local and sign fallback URL and sign a fallback URL. Is this shall be dashboard, and let me rerun this and check where they redirect me after signing. So after signing, you will be directed to dashboard. Okay. So and let me check React router documentation for redirect routing redirect. So they have the redirect from the React router. And so in the home, instead of showing this, I guess we can directly show redirect to sign in. Just remove this. So now what happens if some users opens the application in the URL like this? Okay, I guess we cannot render sign in this way. What's the documentation? Okay, so they are using the is logged in request, right? And just throw redirect. So instead, just we can do redirect and return something. Now let's see if it works or not. So redirect is not working in that manner. Why? So this is the framework model, right? Shall work. Response at the location reports to 3000. So okay, this shall be inside the loader something. And now what happens? Okay, yes, now it works. So instead of the main function, that needs to be in the loader, that's why. Okay. So now what happens if I just open the main page? It directs me to sign in page, and sign in page I have been already logged in. So now what happens if I'm already logged in? So it's directing me to the logged in route. So now if I'm not logged in that case, they will push me to the sign page. And if I'm already logged in into this application, then they will direct me to the logged in route, which is the dashboard, right? So great. So we have this. Now we can integrate the tools clerk profile. So we have the user profile component. So in the dashboard page, what I will do, H screen, I will make it to BG black, or let it be white theme only, light theme. I can just work with. Then let's have P4, and I can add the user profile. So now you can see when I have added the user profile, they have this button, the profile. Now we have the user avatar, avatar and the user button, I guess. Yes, this is the correct one. User button. So now I have this avatar, and then we have the option for the profile in the dialog, right? So this is the correct option to use. So now you can see that this is how it's easy to integrate the clerk, right? So we haven't wrote something anything in the code as much. So we just installed with the command. Then it already installed everything. They created the sign in page and sign up page for you. They set up the env.local also for that. So it was pretty simple to set up, and then you can do the extensive things according to your like. We just added the user button, and it just gave me the everything to manage, right? So you have this avatar, then this popover, which have the manage account option and everything, right? So you already have the option for the delete account, then profile, and if you want to log out, you can simply log out from here, and it redirects you to the home page. So if I now open the main location and it redirects me to sign in page. Right. So this is the option for you to work. Now if I just log in, and then it will get to me in dashboard. Now what happens if uh, user is logged and tries to open dashboard, right? So it's still accessible. In that case, now what we can do is we have to protect that. So there is no avatar right now, but we have to protect that they cannot open dashboard. It needs direct to sign in page, right? So we may have hooks for this instead. Clerk, and then next there's SDK now for the React user managing user the data. Let me just search user authentication. Okay, use user. I guess we have this from the we have the hook from the clerk. So in the dashboard page, we can import from. Wait a second. Use user is from React router. Yeah, is clerk React router correct? And then we can simply copy this, and if user is logged in, then we can show no and user ID. See that now they're not giving me any data. So now what I can do instead of this, I can create a loader same as like in the home page. Now what I can do, I can access this data from here, and if it's loaded and if it's signed in, then redirect to use context to have an error with this. Just how does it works? Let me see the documentation. Okay, so they are directly working with this, but how to work with the redirect? I guess it shall work. Let me try working with the redirect, or else I can just use window dot location dot replace. If you want to render collection, use an array instead. So redirect is not working. I will have to check. So for now, I can just use location. So what happens if you are opening home page, index page? In that case, we are already set up with the sign in redirect. And now, if I'm trying to access a protected route like dashboard, in that case, now they are redirecting to me to the sign in page, because authentication page shall be viewable after only user gets the authenticated. Right. So now what's happening? Only after I am logged in that case only I will be able to access the dashboard page. Right. So now you are able to see user ID and the avatar. So Clerk is now integrated. Now we can create the navigation and all those charts and everything. So what are the tools? Let me just see. Okay, so let's try to install some components from the React bits. So let's go into the doc. Okay, so let me just pick one of those, and what is this happening with this website? Okay, so what it can do is we'll install with this help of sets indirectly. So it will just install, and it's added in the app component blur.test.jsx. Now we can simply import this. Just let me work with that in this, and okay, and here components. Okay, this is JSX. That's what. You can rename it to TSX. And now if I try to import, now it shall work. Okay, so you see that's too easy to install any built-in components. So if you are working with React.bits or any other, so you have this instruction of the installation. They will give you one line command, just run that, and then you can use with the imports like this, right? So if you want, we can use any other component as well, like particular text or something, like text type. We have curved loop, right? So let's try with this. I'll just install that. Uh, I need JSX support. So I'll just rename it to TS6. And in the dashboard, I can also use curved loop. So they have this. Okay. Now let's see here and refresh. So in the curved loop, what's that? Let me just check if any component is there or not. Okay, most probably the text color is an issue. If I just make it to PG black, now you can see we have this loop text, right? So that's an way to import the packages around you. Now you can customize according to your UI, and if you have any landing pages, so you can work with that. Okay, so you can add the overflow scroll. Now, okay, so now we have all those objects, right? And I can do text white to showcase all this and data. Okay, so now we can see about the installation of the components library. We had seen installation stats here. Now, if you want to install some of the components from the React bits or 20,
Am I audible now? Everyone, am I audible now? Confirm in chat. Is there was an issue with my phone? Okay, perfect. So, motion has now been installed, and now let's try it out with motion.react/react. I'll just remove all of these things which hasn't been used. And now let's try an example. So we have some of the examples. Let's try it out. Right. So let's try the carousel. And do they have any source code for this? I think they are asking for the login frame and motion examples. I guess I need to log in, then only I will be able to access the code, source code with this. Let's try logging in. So dialog only, or even the carousel works best. View source. Yeah, they're asking for the pricing. Let me just use temp mail for this. Just let me use some random password. Okay, so I'm now logged in. Do I get the source code for this? Oh, so they have this pricing thing for the. Okay, let it be. We can use some of the other examples, or we can ask ChatGPT. A simple frame or motion example. Okay, what's an issue with this? Okay, so this is an example they have shared. Let's try it out. We already used the motion. Okay, so once you open this, you have this slide in animation, right? So you can see about this. You have an animation on this slide in. You can have several other examples. Based on that, you can ask ChatGPT or you can use any of the AI tools to get it done. Okay, because framer motion, typically you won't be able to remember everything because there are several attributes to learn about. Several properties are there. So in the when you do the coding part, one thing is to note that you won't be able to learn everything. Instead, you need to learn the process how to see the documentation and everything. Just a moment. Sorry for the interruption. I had received a call. That was an emergency situation. Okay. So we have seen the installation of the framer motion as well. Now, what are the tools left? So authentication we have done. Database you can use Neon. Sorry. So for database you can use Neon. They have a very decent free tier pricing. You will get 100 project limits and 100 CPU hours monthly project per project. So that's a very good thing for the serverless database. Uh, you rarely would cross 100 CPU hours. So you can use that free tier pricing. And then I guess this part we'll be doing when we'll be adding React query. So let's install 10 step query. Today we'll be just installing all of those tools, and in tomorrow's session, then we'll be working with some kind of the project where we'll be utilizing all those things. So today we are just doing the installation part. So the installation, this is the command. Then we also need to install the table and form. This is the form. Then we have table. I guess table is installed because section uses that 10 stack table is not there. So let us install that as well. Installation 10 stack table. So we have the React form, React query, and React table from the 10 stack. Then Neon, let's create a database. Neon. Let me choose nearest to our location, which is Singapore. We won't be using Neonaut because we had already implemented Clerk in our application. So this is the connection string. I won't copy, you can install later on. So we have created this. In Neon, you have this data API, which exposes your database through an API built within the Neon structure. So we won't be using Neon North, only the public schema access. So we'll be defining row level security inside this. Being set up, data API has been enabled. So let me just refresh. That has been enabled and why it's showing that. Okay, now you see we have this API URL. Now I can access my database through an API. Okay, so we have this settings with the provider. We can choose for clerk, and I guess we can find for this for the clerk. And let me open the clerk domain. So the configuration. Where do we find the domain with this? The developers. We have this domain. So now we have the JWKS added here. So JWT will be authenticated directly. Now we can see our tables here. So there is no any schema right now. You can create tables directly from here, whatever the information you want. Like for user table, you may need a column name, that is the ID. Then data type would be serial or maybe UUID for the user. Then constant will be primary key. Then again, there will add a new column. Then you can maybe you would like this to first name, right? And then data type you would be using is string or text or varchar. So this would be the thing you would be using. So we'll be seeing in the next session how to create an schema, how to design a database. So we'll be it will be a very basic part. I'll be showing around that. So yeah, that doesn't go overhead, right? So we have this database now. Now for the session replay and Google Analytics, you can visit Posthog. So for this, I won't create an account. Instead, I can just show you documentation for this. So that's the one line, 5 to 6 line of the code. So there's nothing to understand about that. For the installations, you can opt for this React and React router, and then V7. Either you can go with the router config, right? And then you have all those things. Follow the guide. So you can install this by running this command, and then in the white config, you can provide on this post hog. Then in the environment variables, you shall get from when you are logged in, and then this is the simply you need to provide in the entity client. So once you are done with this, simply everything will be added inside React project, and everything will be visible inside the post dashboard as well. So now you have all these options for the post hog. Google Analytics and Metapixels, that is, you can visit Google Analytics, and again, they will share a script code to enter, and you can do that again using any ChatGPT or something. You can get that. Okay. Then for the context, we would be using just and. So let's import that. So we have now installed just and React Query. We have installed test form. Now Zord. So for this, again, I guess that is the npm installed Zord. So we've installed just and also, and then Zord as well. Okay. Then vid stack will be installed later on. then NUQS. So npm NUQS. Then we have 10 stack virtual. So 10 stack virtual. Stack virtual. Then atomic state we can use just and so X state won't be required in this case. Then we have CMDK. I guess CMDK is already covered with this set shein command. Yes, CMDK is by default installed. So I do not install separately for that. Then we have DND kit. We need to install that. DND kit. So we can install this. Right. Everything is within this, so nothing to install anything extra. Now we have Sonar. Sonar is also installed within Satrian. Then we have Moment.js. npm moment install. npm install moment. Okay. If you want to have this, I'll just give an example around this. Dynamic, and then remove this and import moment. Import moment from moment. Now, if I view this, so now time is rendered correctly, right? July 3rd, 2026, and this is the time. So you can use moment in this manner. Then the payments. For payments, you can use Dodo payments. For the billing subscription, we'll be seeing this actually in the tomorrow session. We'll be adding the billing in our application to see how you can manage subscriptions and everything. So this is the one of the core examples we'll be testing out in the developers docs. So I need with the recommended frameworks, but they're also published next JS. But I need in the normal React. So let's see this Dodo payments React router. I guess I'll have to see which shall work because Next.js shall work or not. I'm not sure with this. Okay, I'll get this checked and test it out, which shall work with the React router. Usually it is supported with this frameworks, but any one of those shall work within this. Okay. So generally we have now installed everything which shall be required to create the project. and tomorrow we'll be seeing all these use cases and we'll be using all these packages to build an application. Okay, so if you have any doubt you can ask, because that's it. We have installed all the necessary packages what we need so far in creating the project. Tomorrow's session will be a bit I guess more than 2 hours, so be prepared for that. And I guess for the tomorrow session, I may start by 7:30. So your usual timing is 8:30, but in the tomorrow session we may start at 7:30 because tomorrow session will be long enough, because we'll be building project, so we need to share documentations. We may use AI to speed up. Sometimes we may use some other things also. Installation which may take time creating an account and everything. So tomorrow session will be long enough. May get stretched beyond 2 hours as well. So that's why the tomorrow session will be starting at 7:30. I will also write the message in the WhatsApp group. So okay, if you have any questions, you can ask. Up to now, like, is it clear or not? Whatever have you seen so far, is it clear or not? Or else, if you have any doubt, also you can ask. I guess there's no doubt. So last day class will be. I guess tomorrow is the last day because this is the day 11. I guess yes, today is the day 11. So you have 12 session, right? So tomorrow will be the last day. I'm saying that tomorrow is the last day, and tomorrow we'll be building project. So in the last session, it may get stressed to 2 hours or more. Sir, will there be any test also? I guess there will be some kind of project. You may ask in group. Samir would reply regarding this. I'm just a mentor here. I'm the one who will be teaching. But regarding the assignment or something, that will be discussed by Samir. So you can ask in group and Samir would reply. There would, if I guess, then there would be an assignment, a project to make. That's why I'm showing the practical everything. So there would be a project to make, and there would be, I guess, Viva around that project. You confirm once in the group. Samir would reply with that. Any other queries you have? Yes, not then. That's it for today's session. In the tomorrow session, we'll be seeing to how we build an actual project. Okay, thank you everyone.